सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेद विभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। We'll just chant first two verses of this Upadesa Saram. कर्तुराज्ञया प्राप्यते फलं कर्म प्राप्यते फलं कर्म किं परं कर्म तज्जडम् कृतिमहो दधौ पतन कारणम् कृतिमहो दधौ पतन कारणम् गति निरोध फलम शाश्वतम् गति निरोधकम्। ईश्वरार्पितं नेच्छया कृतम् चित्तशोधकं मुक्तिसाधकम्। Okay. Last time we discussed about the nature of karma. Karma kim param karma tajjadam. And it says, kritimaho dadhau patana karanam. It is a means for remaining in the ocean of samsara. Because karma brings phalam and the phalam brings karma. The cycle goes on. And that being a case, you cannot get away from it. So it seems, one is doomed to suffer in this cycle of birth and death. One is destined to continue these sufferings and will never reach or gain the goal, the fundamental goal that one wants to. Another thing about action is, there is a beautiful observation in Bhagavad Gita where Lord says, Nahi kaschit kshanamapi jatu tishtatya karmaka. A sentient being cannot remain without performing an action even for a moment. The activity is an expression of life. What we call death is nothing but cessation of all kinds of activity. That being a case, the nature of the karma being the same, is it that I am doomed that all the time, Kriti Mahodadau Patana Karanam, I will be suffering? So there is a way out. Certain attitudes are talked about in this verse. What popularly goes by the name of Karma Yoga is talked here. And that which is too popular is too confused. Whole of India is confused about what Karma Yoga is. So many definitions are floating in the society. And I have to hear also when I go to certain functions and certain matas, they talk on the mic. This is Karma Yoga. The most erroneous and the most popular one is act without expectation. Every Indian generally talks, even Mahatmas talk. As you say in America, no, they have bought it. British sold it and we just bought it. That you do not expect phalam. People boast also. Swamiji, I do not expect phalam. We should not expect phalam. Sometimes they advise me also. When I go with some project and I'm little apprehensive, they say, Swamiji, be karma yogi. I said, okay. This is why this is self-contradictory definition. Krishna never said, nor he lived. Very vividly, Lord Krishna said, I am expecting the result. Even before this famous shlokas, Paritranaya sadhunam, vinashaya cha dushkrutam, dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuga. That itself shows that he expects to establish dharma before starting from Vaikuntha. He expects. He has expectation. He, in fact, according to that job that Bhagavan has to do, he assumes the bodies. There are different avatars. Why he became Nrsimha? Because he expected that only in this form I can kill that demon. Why he became Vamana? Because he expected that this only will work. Even at the end of the Gita, he asked Arjuna, Kaschidetat sutam partha tvaya ekagrana chetasa. Have you listened this carefully? And Arjuna had said in the beginning, Pruchhami tvam dharma sammuda cheta. I am deluded. He says, Kaschid agnana sammoha pranastasya dhananjaya. Hey Dhananjaya, is your delusion gone? Arjuna said, Nasto moha. My delusion is gone and I am now clear. Then he stopped. I'm sure if Arjuna had not said, there would have been 19th chapter. He would have continued. He would have made sure that he would communicate it. And I don't know whether he really meant. Sometimes when these perfectionist people always give lots of instruction. Then I have seen the subordinates and the children. I understood. They are tired of listening the repetition. So Arjuna said out of that kind of mindset, or whether he understood, but he said, and he stopped. You cannot say this. It's so vivid. But we have bought it like guinea pigs. Suppose all of us are sitting in a discussion and one of us doesn't speak a single word. And I ask that person, hey, why are you not talking? You have no opinion? He says, I have lots of opinion, but I am dumb by birth. He says, I am dumb from my birth. If you are saying that, how can you be dumb? Similarly, no teacher can tell this. Don't expect result. Teacher expects that you should act without expecting the result. This is not possible. In fact, even a dull-headed fool in a mental hospital, he would know better. Yes, doing something has expectation. There is imagined traffic. There is imagined person, imagined vehicle who transgress the laws of the land and therefore he is punishing and shouting. There is something. There is a very clear vakya, prayojanam anuddishya mandopina pravarsat. Even a dull-headed fool will not begin without expectation. Another thing, this modern going on, live in present. I don't know, how can you live in present? Forget the past. Don't think of the future. Live in present. You are a fool if you don't learn from the past and you don't apprehend the future. You are a fool. You can't live. You can't switch off. It is not a electric switch that you switch off this light, switch off that light, and keep only middle. You cannot. You have to look into the things, what the experiences that you went through, and look into others' experiences and learn and go. Yes and no. Another thing they talk of skill in action is yoga. Yogi should be skillful. The most skillful is our Indian politicians who are never caught in spite of doing all corruption. And even Dawood is skillful. You know that New York had in 60s, there was one Don. His name was Teflon Don. That was recently Teflon was discovered. He was called Teflon Don, never caught. So any Teflon fellow is skillful, whether on a righteous path or wrong path. That doesn't mean that's a karma yogi. Even even a bull or a bullock in a farm is a skillful guy doing the job in his own way. You cannot call it. You see, even this sameness of mind, we should expect results with the sameness, no reaction. It's easy to advise. We have to understand what Bhagavan says. First of all, what is Karma Yoga? It's an attitude. Some people say, if they introduce the president or person, he is a great Karma Yogi. Every day, morning from 8 o'clock, he starts the work, and night 10 o'clock. Great Karma Yogi because he works so much. That doesn't make you Karma Yogi. Certain attitudes towards certain facts. It is not superimposition of an attitude. Attitude born out of understanding about facts. And you cannot impose the attitude also. That also we should understand. People talk of the attitudes. Do this way, have this. It doesn't work that. You have to communicate the cause for this particular attitude. As children, we grew up by singing national anthem and national songs and blah, blah, blah. That doesn't work. It doesn't create anything. If attitude is born out of understanding, it lasts. In a way, it's good that till the person understands, you give the form. Because when the form is there, someday attitude can be cultivated. If the form is given up, the attitude also will be lost. But then, that understanding certain things, cognitive change is important. What kind of cognitive change is necessary when he says here the same karma, which is a means of bondage, is a means of freedom. Please understand, nothing and nothing in this creation is either bad or good. Doing action itself is not a good thing, and not doing also itself is not good thing. It creates another psychological problems. People that the same chapter which I quote, the verse that I quoted now, Lord Krishna tells, Mithyacharasya uchyate. Then how you deal with it, how you look at it. Please understand the human life is a subjective life. As I said, drashti srishti. In the Kathopanishad class we saw. Animals have srishti drashti. They see the things and respond. Human being has a subjective response for each and everything. Beginning from his nose onwards, which is a factual thing. The color of the skin onwards, how the other person is and how the world is and how even the God is. Everybody as a subjective perception about Ishvara also. That's why there are religions. And in a given religion, there are so many branches, so many denominations talking about things that we know the God. Subjective. To the extent you learn to be objective, to that extent you live in a Ishvara Srishti. You live in the world which is as it is. Subjectivity alone makes the person happy and unhappy. What in the jargon of Gitaji we can call it as likes and dislikes, raga dveshas. And to extend the stronger you have it, more prone you are, more gullible you become to become happy and happy like the pendulum of a clock, like a yo-yo ball. So how to neutralize them? How to be objective in day-to-day life? They have these topics also. They gave us, often I've been listening this topic for 30 years. Swamiji, tell us about day-to-day life, Bhagavad Gita in day-to-day life. I don't know, as if they are talking life hereafter. Gita is talking about you. You can't have anything other than day-to-day life. They don't understand. Anyway, let's get back to this attitude. And these confusing definitions about or misconception about Karma Yoga is derived and they quote this particular verse, Karmanyevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadacha. This is missing simple Sanskrit. Basic Sanskrit, if you know, you can say this verse cannot be translated as act without expectation. You see, karmani eva adhikara. That karmani is not locative. It is vishaya saptami. Moksha ichha vartate. That means there is a vishaya in that subject matter with reference to in the subject of karma. Eva, indeed, or up to that alone. Tava means yours, adhikara. Let's keep the word adhikara as adhikara for the time being, till I give you the prose order and translate other words. The Bhagavan says, in the subject of karma, you have adhikara alone. I mean, in the subject matter of karma only. Na phalesh. You have no adhikara with reference to result. With reference to karma, you have adhikara. In Sanskrit and in all vernacular languages, adhikara means power. Adhikara means jurisdiction. Adhikara in Sanskrit can be translated as satta, samarthya, or you can say choice. When you say power, that goes choice. You have choice to use it, not to use it, and to use it otherwise. Karmani eva adhikara. You have choice over action. To do, not to do, and do otherwise. Not over the result. Meaning thereby, to have result, not to have result, and to have it otherwise, it is not your jurisdiction. Simple. Even you travel in India, there are signboards on highway, especially if you cross by road Rajkot, then there is, after a few kilometers, there will be mentioned on the road. The limit of police commissioner into bracket Rajkot city ends. And there will be line in second sentence. The limit of police commissioner, Rajkot rural begins. The limit of one jurisdiction of one officer ended and the jurisdiction of other began. And just the opposite will be written on the other side. The limit of the jurisdiction of the police commissioner, Rajkot rural ends and city begins. Means what? Up to that demarcating line, police commissioner has all power to register the case, not to register the case, to delay the case, or to apply this particular clause of Indian Penal Code or whatever. It is his jurisdiction. Even an inch beyond, he has nothing to do. He has no right. Simple. Bhagavan says, your jurisdiction ends when you perform. And second half is what? It is my jurisdiction to shape the result. You can shape the action, but you have no right to shape the result. That's it. Now tell me, is there any word expectation? Act without expectation. There is no word here. I don't know how. I think Britishers sold so that we can work for them without expecting anything. And we bought it. How to translate this into life? What does it mean? My jurisdiction ends. You can say that law, third law, fourth law, action and reactions are equal and opposite. But here it has a little deeper meaning. Please appreciate what. Bhagavan says, I shape the result. When I shape, he means it is not sitting up above. He throws the pieces of bread and shapes the result. No. The result of the action is inbuilt in the very action. It is not like a judgment of a judge, you give the result. It is inbuilt. Like when I throw the ball, it will come with the same velocity. Unless the wall has some surface, it's not same or straight or smooth. And it will come with the same velocity in the same direction, opposite. That is called shaping. Bhagavan, let us accept now this much. I will explain why and how. Bhagavan says, I shape the result. Meaning thereby, result is inbuilt in the very action itself. And it comes. What does it mean? That is where Indian culture helps. This is the beauty of this culture. This attitude was inbuilt in us. When we grew, parents gave this, society gave this, even the school gave this. There is a form called temple prayers. Every religion has a place of community worship. But the temple is different in a way. There is a prana pratishtha. Let's keep aside that part. But one system we have. Other day in Kathopanishad, I told you, we never go empty-handed to Bhagavan. Even now, today, when I meet some of the heads of the state, we are told in international conferences, bring some gift for the president or the minister or something, you have to carry something. Deva Guru Rajanam Riktapanihi na abhivade. Don't go empty-handed. So we take the things. Nothing is there, at least a flower. They take some flower. Outside it is available. 5 rupees, 10 rupees, 2 rupees, something. And when you return from the temple, this is not there in any other religion. They give you something in return. And there are 2 words. What you bring to the temple as an offering is called Naivedya. And in return, what you receive is called prasada. Vastu is not a prasada. Your attitude is prasada. The object itself is not prasada. Suppose somebody gives you a beautiful rose in the morning. So looks like very fragrant. And you just take and we're about to smell it. Obviously, it's a rose, so you feel like smelling. But that person says, this is morning Someshwar Puja Prasada. Diversion takes place. It is coming straight, it goes up and is put here. Because rose is rose. You don't look upon it as something to be enjoyed. It no more becomes a bhogya. It becomes something, you receive something with sense of gratitude, sense of being blessed. Oh, Swamiji, you brought me for temple? Especially, yes, today is your birthday. Oh, thank you. In Gujarat, we have a temple called Dakor, Vaishnava temple. But people still have that value that you should not go empty-handed. And bring, there is another societal value, convention, that when you go to pilgrimage place, you bring prasadam and distribute to your near and dear ones. So we actually are supposed to make from home and carry and offer and bring back. But now revised form, society has changed, so the shops are there. And they give laddus. But you will see the shops, varieties of laddu, different size and different pricing. This fellow goes and asks, how much per kg? He says, this is 400 rupees and this is 500. He says, why difference? This is pure ghee. There is some mixture. The test. They say, give us something to test. They test it. Then husband and wife talk it out. Okay. Then says, give 1 kg. The man says. The woman has a calculation, how many to distribute. So she will ask, how many pieces per kg? That fellow says, there will be 20 pieces. Only 20? Do you have a smaller size? Because she has a list of 40. Do you have a smaller size? Then again smaller size. They taste it, buy it. The temple is so crowded, especially on certain days, Ekadashi and Purnima, etc. You can't get a chance to go near and offer. So what they do, they just open themselves, huge crowd. You hardly can stand. If you want free body massage, go there. You will get that. All people are giving you free body massage. They press you from all the sides, Hardly you get a chance to open. I've seen them struggling to open. They open and then pull it. And like this, they show it to Lord. They do like this. Shown, brought back. And you should see. Either of them did, husband or wife, manage this. The other person takes the same laddu with a different attitude. When they took it, tasted it from the shop, the mindset was different. Now it's different. Why? Now it is looked upon as something, a gift from the God. There is another custom we have. You pay some money in the temple and in return they give prasada. This Dakor has this system. I don't know the recent rising system, but about a couple of years ago I had gone there. If you pay 11 rupees, they will give you one laddu. And if you pay 101 rupees, they used to give 7 laddus. When you pay and take it, you don't question the quantity also. If one is for 11, 101 you should give 9. Or because I'm buying more, you should give 10. That calculation about quantity doesn't come. If someone comes from Kailasa or Badrinath, those rice and dal, they heat it up in the hot spring and bring it back half cooked, but you eat it with the same attitude. Or you have Tirupati Laddu, which is nothing but ball of calories. The fellow may be diabetic, cholesterol, everything. He will take it. Or you may just get a Bilva Patra or Tulsi Dalam. You may receive with the same attitude. Because the giver for you is Bhagavan. What converts a bhogya to prasada is the giver. It comes from Ishvara. Then in our mindset, it becomes prasada. That Bhagavan may be Siddhivinayaka. This Ganeshotsav Siddhivinayaka. Without any ritual, they just put some Ganapati and offer, but still, it's no Pranapratishtha, no Shuchi, nothing is there. But still, it is my cultural mindset is Ganapati is Bhagavan and it has come from Ganapati, so it is Prasad. Okay? So Prasada is an attitude, not a vastu. An attitude where you can gladly, gracefully, happily, with a sense of gratitude, accept whatever is a quality and whatever is quantity. Quality, quantity, no more. This attitude is karma yoga. Needs to be translated in day-to-day life. We have seen in Upanishad, Ishvara for us is not sitting above. He is abhinna nimitta upadanakara. That means the creation is not separate from the creator. We have seen in the earlier text also. And this creation is not a static creation like furniture. In all worldly creations, the creator and the matter with which it is created are separate entities. Carpenter is different from the wood. Goldsmith is different from the ornament. With reference to creation, Ishvara is the material. Ishvara is the creator. Intelligent cause and material cause. And this creation, as I said, is not static. In fact, when we say this Utpatti, Sthiti and Laya, creation, sustenance and dissolution, the simultaneous process of creation and dissolution is sustenance. Every moment to moment, some dissolution, destruction takes place. And every moment to moment, new things getting created. Like even in body. So many cells are born and cells die, and so many birds flowers and the buds, and these leaves come to the tree and old one drop. It's there. There are certain laws which govern this sustenance. And this order of Ishvara, that laws that sustain the creation is Ishvara. Creation is not separate from him. Therefore, there is a Vakya, Isha Vasyam Idam Sam. It is not a particular mountain or a particular river or a particular idol or a particular place or particular situation, time we look at Ishvara. Any order in this creation is Ishvara. So Surya is Ishvara, manifestation of the God. The Vayu is manifestation of Ishvara. Agni is manifestation of Ishvara. And all the laws of physics and chemistry and electronics is his manifestation. Therefore, when we have this Saraswati Puja on Ashtami, that is called Saraswati Shayana. In North, the tradition is lost. In fact, in India, on Dashami, Dashera, what we call it, Vijaya Dashmi, that was a day when Vidyarambha was done. Only 2 days. Vijaya Dashmi or Raksha Bandhan. And the tie Rakhi, there's a mention in our Puranas, Itihasa and Vedas. So, Vijayadashmi, they used to start teaching. The Navami is Saraswati Krupa Pratna. Ashtami, they put all the books and then you see, invoke Saraswati in the book, not in an idol or a photograph. Seek her grace, called as Shastra Krupa. Ishwara Krupa, Guru Krupa and Shastra Krupa. You seek the grace. And on Dashami you start. So while we were studying, so I put my this Panini Sutra Ashtadhyayi. We were already plus 25. So we had to mug up all the Sutra. And we had a very strict Pandit who would never teach the next lesson without checking that you have memorized the earlier one. So you have to mug it up and go and memorize everything. So I was little, because I loved the subject Shastra, so I was little disinterested. I said, time wasted. But then Pandit used to catch me. So I said, let me seek Saraswati Krupa for my Sanskrit along with Upanishad and Gita, so I may remember more. So I said to Swamiji, I did that. Swamiji said, when we were children, we used to put history and geography and everything. And the history book, our idiotic history book had only Mughals, Akbar and Humayun. There was nothing beyond. Still we used to put it. Every knowledge is his manifestation. Therefore, in this country, Vidwan is most respected and the book itself is respected. Inadvertently touching the book, they seek pardon. I grew up in the school, we were supposed to remove the shoes outside the class. And only and only in this country. Like place of verses has so many names, church and mosque and synagogue and pagodas, etc. But schools have the title Mandir, Sharda Mandir, Vidya Mandir, Gnana Mandir. They tell, because knowledge is his manifestation. And these Ishvara's laws are infallible and impartial. Swamiji would say, they are not like brother-in-laws and sister-in-laws of politicians, which can change. They are infallible and impartial. Even if Newton were to jump, he will also come down 22 feet per second acceleration. Law of gravitation will not be partial. Oh, this is the fellow who brought me to light. Because of this fellow, humanity is recognizing me. Saved. So also, law of karma phala. What I receive as a result is nothing but Ishvara's grace. To see that, that means what? It is coming from Ishvara. That word, there is a name, Karma Dhaksha, Niyanta. And the feminine, some women have the name in Gujarat also, Niyati. Niyanta, Niyati. That being the case, the results are shaped by the laws made by Ishvara, not you. Simple. Karmanyevadika. You have a choice to do it, not to do it otherwise. But the result, I will shape. It's like tennis ball, which has crossed the court, the net, it's in the opponent's courts. How to respond, that fellow will decide. Here, Ishvara is not responding arbitrarily. There is a law about which we are blissfully ignorant. When I look upon result as coming from Ishvara, every situation becomes prasada. You may expect, and I think you should expect, because it is the expectation which drives you to a given result, and quality of the efforts also depends upon your expectation. How much is your expectation, so much you will put in the efforts. And the type of efforts. If you are too committed and badly wanting, you will be extra conscious. And pursue it. Expect it. But if I put it in other words, expect the result, but expect that expectation can go wrong. This much is simple maturity. Anybody can have. But to look upon it as a prasada is karma yoga. That's a grace of. And when I look at that prasada, my likes and dislikes, my insistences, my arrogances, my certain emotions of failure and dejections don't come into play because given by Ishvara. That neutralization of likes and dislikes, that is samatvam. Like one has a samatvam for this calorie ball from Tilupatti and the samatvam for simple bilva leaf coming from Kedarnath. Don't bother for quality, quantity. You feel blessed that the grace that itself is the bilva leaf is nothing but grossification of grace coming to me. If I can look upon my life as that, I am free within. You may not like it and try further. That is your choice. You may want it again and pursue. That is your choice. But the result, I shape it. The problem is, that is a typical human problem. Every human being has this issue. Swamiji, you don't know me. I said, idiot, you don't know yourself. I know myself, but you don't know. You don't know me. If he is working, he feels, I know better than my boss. If he is the boss feels this idiot cannot be kept. It is only me who is surviving, who is pulling him with me. If he is in business, I deserve more profit. In relationship, always complain. I have not been given so much of love and the care to the extent I have done for others in the family. They don't have value for me. Cognitively dissatisfied, emotionally dissatisfied, always feeling the sense that I have not been given justice. And in the modern times, physically also not dissatisfied. Because fashion. He may have 12 hairs. He feels two should be this side, two here, and two there. Whether he has a brown skin, he wants to become white wants little, like heating of this mugfali. They go for sunbath, wanting some tan skin. Everybody feels I have been meted out with injustice. They don't say this, but implying that Bhagavan has made some mistake in my case. There are so many I know who don't deserve what they have. I only deserve. all these feelings are neutralized when you have a Ishvara in your life. Remember, his laws are infallible and just, and he himself is coming to you in the form of result. Therefore, even the child is looked upon as a prasada. Same Dakur, when a baby first time is brought out, is taken over there. And the baby is put in the feet of the Lord. The baby separating from mother itself is painful. And it's so much of crowd and commotion and noise. The baby can't handle this. It starts crying then onwards. And strongly clinging to mother, and mother wants to get some prasada. So she removes one hand and gives to that servant. And that fellow lives like that and passes on, like Ariel passing on. And then when the priest gets the baby is looking only this side because mother is left over and shouting and already commotion and noise. One more instrument, Vajintra. And the priest holds it and puts it like this. And with some tilakam sent back. The child is Prasad. Therefore, in India, you find the name Durga Prasad, Shiv Prasad, Krishna Prasad, Saraswati Prasad. The title Prasad more common in Andhra Pradesh because Tirupati is one god and only god accepted in Andhra, Balaji. Child is Prasada, death is also Prasad. Therefore, they respect Yama. When this is Karma Yoga because it becomes Chitta Shodakam Mukti Sadhana. The success in life, true, you can measure in terms of what you possess or what you acquired in the society in terms of wealth and fame and position and power and connections. But success in life lies to the extent you enjoy yourself, to the extent you enjoy your own company. In other words, to the extent you are in peace with who unfortunately is in pieces, only spelling changes. That fellow is in pieces. I can't enjoy myself because the mind is riddled with all kinds of ragas and dveshas. To extent you can release the mind from the holds of likes and dislikes, to that extent you are content, you are satisfied, you are happy. I don't mean to say don't work for it. You can continue working for it. But inside that should be some space. In this, there should be some space where I can say no to myself and I can say yes to myself. That means I'm no more under the sway of likes and dislikes. I often love to tell this. They talk of when you fly, they talk of if the pressure comes down and oxygen mask, blah, blah, blah. There is always pressure here. That I have not been respected. I was insulted. I didn't get this. I should have that. Others, and not only agenda for myself, agenda for near and dear ones. I can't fulfill my agenda about myself. How am I going to fulfill my agenda about others? It's never going to work. That pressure, that strong likes and dislikes make me unhappy. When you live, understand what is prasada? Living in the awareness of Ishvara. We will see in this text, bhakti is not an action. Bhakti is an attitude which is born when you live in the awareness of Ishvara. Not necessarily doing something. And even while doing, there is some specific attitude. That is bhakti. And this karma yoga is possible only when you live in the awareness of Ishvara. There is no secular karma yoga. As Swamiji often used to say, that this samatvam or dexterity or it is okay, but you can neutralize likes and dislikes. And that itself is called chitta shuddhi. That karma which can create more likes and dislikes, more sense of being unhappy, more sense of being being meted out injustice in the life, more sense of being dissatisfied, the same karma can bring you more sense of being satisfied. You can more freedom from the holds of likes and dislikes, provided while accepting the result, while viewing, I told you, drashti srishti, while seeing the given situation, if I bring in Ishvara, if I live in the awareness of Ishvara, then it becomes that bandha karanam. Earlier sloka it was said, Kruti mahodadhau patana karanam. Same patana karanam becomes chitta shodakam mukti sadhana. Same thing, same action. So you need not change your lifestyle. And just by doing more karmas, you don't become karma yogi. And just by deliberately giving up those karmas also, you don't become yogi. What makes you yogi is this particular attitude of prasada bhakti. And when that attitude is imbibed, how? When you live in the awareness of Ishvara. It is imbibed in every situation. Then you are a karma yogi. So please, we will see again further few shlokas. I would like to emphasize this. Another common confusion, so deep-rooted confusion, like don't expect, similarly this one, that bhakti marga is different and karma marga is different. That bhakti becomes bhakti yoga, provided you live in the awareness, do all those japa, tapa, etc. in the awareness of Ishvara. And karma also becomes yoga, provided you accept the result in the awareness of Ishvara. This is one aspect of karma yoga. There is another aspect. Even while doing karma, also we need to see Ishvara. Need to see means it's natural, it's mature, that it's a factual that you should one naturally see the Ishvara. Other aspect. In other words, the bhokta means the receiver of the phalam, the enjoyer of the karma phalam. Bhokta becomes yogi or bhokta becomes bhakta when he or she takes as a prasada. The karta also becomes yogi, the doer. That he also becomes bhakta only when, while doing also, he brings in Ishvara. That second half of the karma yoga, other side of the karma yoga, we shall discuss in our next class. Today we will close it at now. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.